I thought I'd show everyone something one of my coworkers brought me today. He contacted me the other day and he said this thing has been sitting in his personal shop at home and it kept getting in the way, and the chassis there, the tubes are there. I'll show you that later. But he called me up and he said, "John, do you want this thing?" And he sent me a couple of pictures using his iPhone, and I said, "Yeah, I'll take it, you know, free of charge." And he actually delivered it. It's an airline, and it's probably from around 1932, 33, maybe even a little earlier. It's got some, you know, veneer problems, of course. You know, this part right here is a little messed up, but hey, we can fix most of this, okay? And over here, we've got a piece missing, one of these little loop-de-loops, but what I'll do in order to match both sides, I'll remove this loop-de-loop here, and, you know, it'll match both sides. There's no way I can come up with something like this. Here's the inside of that airline radio. I didn't want to take it outside. It's too heavy to carry. This thing has 8 tubes in it. Man, that's a lot of tubes. I still don't know what the model number is. There's a number right here. It says 14. That's about all I can make out on it. But that's it. There's 8 tubes in it, and it's you know, an AC. It's going to be interesting to. This thing's full of mud wasps. Look at there. That's all mud wasps, or, you know, as some people call dirt daubers, all over down in here. Look at that, all the way around the speaker. Amazing, isn't it? Look at all the mud wasps around that speaker. The speaker's completely shot, but, you know, it might make a sound or something. If it does, I'll just recone it or something. But look at all the mud wasps around that thing. Going to be an interesting fix. I will not be doing this on YouTube. It's going to be one of those long-term projects down the road somewhere. Well, the rain still has not stopped in Arkansas. However, it wasn't supposed to rain today, and guess what we woke up to? More rain. And I've been trying for a couple of weeks to get down to the nursery and pick up the dirt that I need to fill the hoop house raised beds. And I said, you know, usually on Saturday if it's raining they close. So I called them up and they said, no, we're going to go ahead and stay open. The rain's supposed to stop here in a couple hours. So I went down and got a load. I'm going to get 4 loads. I don't know if I'll get them all today. I'm going to try to. This stuff is called cotton burr, and it's a composted cotton. It's supposed to be extremely rich. I don't know. We're going to give it a try. I've never used it before. You can buy it in the bag or you can buy it bulk. I bought a bulk, you know, 1 scoop in the old truck. I'm going to mix this 50-50 with what they call super soil. It's a normal kind of compost with the leaves and all that stuff, you know. So according to the owner, this stuff here all by itself will grow fantastic potatoes. But I'm going to mix it 50-50. Time to go get another load. We've got our 2 loads of cotton burr unloaded, and I went back and I picked up a 3rd load, but this is the super soil I was telling you about. Now the super soil, this is what they call it. You know, it's a mixture of all kinds of leaves and twigs and sticks and everything with some sand thrown in there. And as you can see, I've got Mr. Bowie. For those of you who watched my Mish-Mash videos, you'll remember Mr. Bowie. I told you was our septic tank man. This place here, there's never a dull moment around this joint, I swear. He's cleaning out our septic tank, which I should have had done last year. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get this unloaded. It's kind of a neat stuff, and I'm going to be mixing it, but I need 1 more load of this after I empty it, and I'll be good to go. Hopefully by that time Mr. Bowie will have his helpers. I think they're his grandsons. They'll have pumped out our tank. There's the last load. We have 2 loads there, 1 load here. Unfortunately, I can't drive to the back with my truck, and when I try to do that, this is what happens. The road just, I mean, the ground just sinks in. It's just so much rain this spring. It's terrible. Oh well, back to the manual labor. Before putting the mixed dirt into the raised beds, I've got to put down this black mat stuff to keep the weeds from coming through. Unfortunately, our yard has grown up quite a bit from all the rain we've had, but you know, I can't mow. The whole bottom of the mower would be soaking wet, and it just wouldn't work. Not right now. And besides, it's a little really early. We want the bees to work the flowers. Anyway, what you do is you just roll it out across the top of the bed and then cut it to the right length. That's all there is to it. This is I think these are 36 inch wide, and I think it's 40 or 45 inch width. Okay, so that covers it. And then you lay it on the bottom like this and put your raised bed right down on it. That's all. The bed will hold it down. Nothing to it. Looks real neat, looks real good. It sticks out both sides. And you want to cut it just a little bit long, you know, you don't want it right up there. I could probably move this bed a little bit ways this way, but maybe not. Anyway, just cut it. Now I'm just going to take the old dirt and start shoveling it in after the dirt is mixed. And then I might take my hands and, you know, do a little more mixing. Just don't go down there with with these tools and start mixing, because you'll punch a hole through that black mat and then you got weeds that'll come up through the holes. Don't want that. So I've got to complete this one and that one, and then we'll start filling them with dirt. Once I get these 3 beds filled, then I'll come over here and work on these 3 that I've tipped up out of the way. The reason I've tipped them out of the way, I want to drive in here with my lawnmower, with my wagon on the back with the dirt, shovel it in, or just tip the wagon up and dump it in, whatever. I needed the room to get that done. So let's finish up these last 2 beds. Well, now comes the hard part. I'm going to fill this thing halfway. From the middle to the front, we're going to be putting the super soil. The cotton burr will be from the middle to the rear of the buggy. And then I'm going to mix it all together, you know, maybe almost to the top. Mix it all together, spend some time, you know, with my hands in there. And then we're going to take it back and put it in one of the beds and see how full it gets. I'm looking for 8 inches, about 8 inches. Well, so far so good. I don't think one trailer full is going to cover the bottom 8 inches. But, you know, we can come back and top it off later. I just want to get the dirt in the raised beds as much as I can before it gets dark. That trailer load only filled it up not quite 6 inches. Each of these boards are 6 inches wide. Actually about 5 3/4. So we're not quite 6 inches. It's going to take a little bit more to fill them up. But now we have something to go by. It was only about 3/4 of a trailer. So a full trailer will probably do it. Now what I want to do today, I'm starting to get a little tired, I've been at this all day. I just want to do these last two beds right here. And then one other thing. For those interested, the second wagon full, I made it extremely full, and I even made a little hump in the center. And then when I dumped it in here, look at there. Up above the center board, the crack between the 2 boards, we've got almost 7 inches, which is going to be really easy to top off, okay? So, if you plan on doing this sort of thing and you want to use a wagon like this to fill them, pile it up, get you a nice hump in the center. It'll work perfectly for a 3x6 bed. Alright? But right now, it's coffee time. The last thing we're going to do here today is we're going to plant some potatoes. And what I've done is I took, a shovel full of the cotton burr and another shovel, not a full shovel full, about 3/4, and another shovel of the super soil. I like that name, super soil. Anyway, we've got it about halfway full, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this here potato, and we're going to cut slips out of it. We're not going to plant chunks of potato, but before I do, I am going to mix in a little blood meal, organic blood meal, and we're going to put it in a small container like this. I won't need any fertilizer at this point because this dirt here is really rich. I'll put in some fertilizer in about 2 weeks, and we'll go ahead and let it get down in there and get that old potato root going real good. So let me go ahead and mix it up, and then we'll add the blood meal. Alright, that's what the blood meal looks like. It's just kind of a blackish, kind of granulated type stuff. That's about all you're gonna need for a pot this big. Probably not even, this may be even too much, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it in anyway. Now I'll go ahead and mix all that together also. Alright, now we'll go ahead and, after I've mixed it all, I've cut the slips, okay? They're just thin slips. That's all you need. I remember my mother and dad growing them like this. They didn't put big old chunks of potato in there, and we're going to go back to the basics here and what I know. Anyway, this If you were to take an entire potato and put it in there, even half a potato and put it in there, you would get a smaller yield and smaller potatoes. So what we're going to do, I'm only putting 3 per bucket. I don't want to overload this thing. We're just going to put it down in there like that. And move this over here like so. Put this one down in here like that. And then put the third one over here. The smaller one right here. If you load it up too much, there won't be any room for the potatoes to grow. And that's all we're going to do with that. We'll wait about, well, just about at the time it starts to come through the soil. And that's when we'll add a little bit of fertilizer to the top. And I've got about 9 more of these to do, I guess. And the reason I'm doing these is because our good buddy Buzz, yeah, old Buzz, he says I could grow more potatoes in a thimble than you can grow in all those pots. Yeah, right, come on. I cannot believe he's challenged me, ladies and gentlemen. He's made a bet that he can grow more potatoes than I can.
Well, I pity the fool that makes that mistake.